I don't like to use the term skinwalker to describe the hellspawn that wandered the Appalachian Mountains. I say this because the only people that believe in skinwalkers are the ones who have actually seen them. I sure as hell didn't believe in any such thing until about 2 weeks ago. The Appalachian Mountains had always been a place that I wanted to visit. The pictures on Google were enough for me. The place is fucking beautiful. I had heard a few stories about skinwalkers roaming around the mountains during the night, which just made it more interesting. I've saved up the money and rented a cabin and flew out here to experience the mountain lifestyle for a couple of weeks. The first few days were completely normal. I had gotten settled in and felt completely fine. Hiking some surrounding trails is all that I can recall for the first 3 or 4 days. It was on that fifth day that everything began going to shit. The cabin that I rented had two big floodlights facing the backyard. Every night a coyote would walk past my cabin, causing the lights to turn on. I thought nothing of it. It was honestly kinda cute. On the fifth night of my stay, I was sitting in the living room watching some satellite TV. In the corner of my eye, I saw the floodlights flick on. I jumped up to go see my new coyote friend through the window. Let's just say, whatever caused my floodlights to turn on that night was not a fucking coyote. Its body looked completely normal except for the legs. The legs were extremely long and skinny, probably 3 times longer than any normal coyote. The thing just stared at me. My fight or flight didn't kick in. All I could do was stare back into its empty eyes. This fucking creature then let out the loudest, most blood-curdling scream I have ever heard. Then got even closer to the window. I turned around to grab my phone so I could call the police. As I was walking to the couch, the floodlights turned off. The soft glow of the old TV screen was the only thing lighting my living room. I grabbed my phone, sprinted upstairs to my room. My first instinct was to hide in the closet, so I did just that. The closet doors had little slits in them, so I could kinda see what was going on outside. I picked up my phone and tried to call the police. There was one slight problem though. My phone was fucking dead. It was around this point that I heard knocking coming from my front door. The knocking continued for what felt like an hour. I literally had no idea what to do, so I just sat there hoping that it would stop. It eventually did stop, but shortly after I heard the door open. No kicking the door in or anything like that. It just opened. I could hear faint footsteps getting louder and faster as it went up the stairs. It eventually got to my room, where I thought I was dead for sure. I could hear it I could hear it opening drawers and messing with my bed sheets. I peered through one of the slits in the door. I couldn't really see anything. That was until the creature put its disgusting, rotting face up against the door. It was breathing so loudly that it was hurting my ears. I pushed myself back into a corner and used one of my jackets to cover me. It was my last option. I don't know how long I sat there, but it felt like an eternity. I eventually peeked out from behind my jacket to see some light coming through the doors. I stood up and looked out. It was daytime. I couldn't hear the creature anymore. I assumed that it got spooked by the sunlight and left. I slowly opened the closet door. It was finally safe. Needless to say, I got the fuck out of there. And I'm never going back. I don't want to see a therapist because they won't believe me. They'll think I'm insane. Maybe I am insane. I don't know. All I know is that whenever the locals of the Appalachian Mountains talk about these things, they aren't lying.